Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. I am Rabbi Andy Kahn, joined on the Bima by Rabbi Amy Ehrlich, Cantor Mo Glasman. We are pleased that you have joined us, whether you're here right in front of us in the sanctuary, which still feels a little bit surreal, or joining us via the live stream. We're happy to bring in Shabbat with you. This week in Parashat Balak, we get the poem that Ma Tovu comes from. Ma Tovu Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob. How beautiful your dwelling places, O Israel. Never before have I appreciated the beauty of our sanctuary like I have since we've had people back in it. It was a very different experience to be up here, leading Shabbat services to only those online. And I'm very grateful that we're back to a moment when our doors are now open to anyone who would join us with proper vaccination. As we let these words sink in, Ma Tovu, how goodly, how wonderful, let's take a moment to really appreciate this incredible space. It's easy because you're all forced to direct your eyes up here to miss what's going on around. So let's take just a few seconds, look around, look at the stained glass, the lights, the beauty of the sunshine. Take a few deep breaths. Welcome in Shabbat in this wonderful dwelling place. Shabbat Shalom. Begin on page 15 responsively. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivah
We continue with our Shabbat Psalm, L'chu Naranan, on page 17.
Come, let us sing to the Eternal One. Let our song ring out to the sheltering rock. Our voice, our song. If you take a moment and just flip to the end of L'chu Naranan, it says, if only we could today listen to your voice, with an awareness that we bring our voice to prayer and we beckon God's voice as well. We take this opportunity to learn a little bit of music for this psalm, which is Psalm 95, a traditional way to start Kabbalat Shabbat. Sing a bit of it, and then I'd love for you to sing with us as we learn this together. L'chu neranan al Adonai, nariya l'tzu yishenu. So the melody goes a little like this. You could repeat after me, you'll learn it in no time. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Try it. Ya la ya la la, ya la 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 la. Let's put that together. 3, 4. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la ya la la, ya la ya la la. Good, the next part goes like this. Ya la la la. Try that. That was really good. Ya la la la. So let's put that together, listen. Ya la la la. Ya la la la. Your turn. Ya la ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Now let's put all of that together and sing that whole phrase. And then, of course, we superimpose these beautiful words from the Psalms. So let's sing just on la, and then we'll add the words. 3, 4. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la ya la la, ya la ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Are you catching on? Can you show me with a hand if you're good with the melody? All right, I love it. It's a thumbs up and it's not even on Zoom. That's fantastic. We're going to sing it from the top, but now let's add the words. So after me. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu. You guys try it. 3, 4. Lechu. Nariya. Sorry. Nariya letzur yishenu. Nariya letzur yishenu. Nekadma fanav betoda. Nekadma fanav betoda. Bizmiro nariya lo. And that melody repeats with the third verse as well, which we'll do. So now I think we're ready. Please sing with us as our voice connects with the eternals. Lechu neranena l'Adonai, nariya letzur yishenu. Lechu neranena l'Adonai, nariya letzur yishenu. Nekadma fanav betoda. Bizmiro nariya lo. Together. Lechu neranena l'Adonai, nariya letzur yishenu. Nekadma fanav betoda. Bizmiro nariya lo. Second verse. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim. אשר בידו מקרה הארץ ותועפות הרי הממלוא. Yalai, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, yalai, ya la la, ya 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 la la, yalai la la, yalai la la, yalai la ya la la, ya la 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 la, yalai la la, yalai la la. Amarito betson yado.
Please rise as we continue on page 67 with the Barchu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim uvitvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim b'mishmarotehem, brakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Ma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzavaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We read together first in Hebrew, then in English. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lavavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeit yedchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, Li'ol lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
I, the Eternal, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations. We are Israel. Our prophets proclaimed an exalted vision for the world. Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed. You shall not oppress your neighbors, nor rob them. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds. We are Israel, taught to beat swords into plowshares, commanded to pursue peace. Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children shall be taught of the Eternal, and great shall be the peace of your children. We are Israel, O God, and we proclaim you the God of freedom, as did our ancestors on the shores of the sea.
Mi kamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef eleh, osef eleh. Mi kamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef eleh, osef eleh. Malchutcha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, ze'eli anu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha dar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef eleh, osef eleh. Sing with us. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef eleh, osef eleh, osef eleh, osef eleh.
Page 71. Cause us, Eternal, our God, to lie down in peace and to awaken each morning to renewed life and strength. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Help us to order our lives by your counsel and lead us in the paths of righteousness. Be a shield about us, protecting us from hate and war, from pestilence and sorrow. Curb also within us the inclination to do evil, and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Guard our going out and our coming in unto life and peace from this time forth and forever. Blessed is the Eternal, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all people, and over Jerusalem.
Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Nora, Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei HaKol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
Eternal God, the power of your Spirit pervades all creation. When we open our hearts to you, we are filled with your strength, the strength to bear our afflictions, the strength to refuse them victory, the strength to overcome them. And then our will is renewed to lift up the fallen, to set free the captive, to heal the sick, to bring light to all who dwell in darkness. Add your strength to ours, O God, so that when death casts its shadow, we shall yet be able to say, O source of blessing, you are with us in death as in life. You may be seated. As we contemplate cycles of life, of the ability to overcome afflictions, we now turn our thoughts to those who may be in just such a battle right now. Someone who is in need of healing of the mind, the body, or of the spirit. If there's anyone you're thinking of in particular this evening who's in need of such healing, I invite you to share their names with us now. May all in need find a swift and complete healing. Continue with the prayer for healing, our Misha Berach, on page 83.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. מי שפרח אמותינו, שרה רבקה לאה ורחל. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer. Us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Berach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sara Rivka Leah v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer. Misha Berach
May the sense of God's presence be with us along our way, helping us to discover peace and rest some have lost or never known, renewing our covenant of peace with all created things. And may we become more than we have been, more than we are, reaching for a perfection beyond our grasp, growing and learning one day to make this day's peace a peace for all days, learning one day to do justly and love mercy and walk alongside the one who walks with us. We pray silently.
I want to share a story about a couple, Samantha and Bob. Samantha is concerned that her husband, Bob, is losing his hearing. And Bob, being very old school, absolutely refuses to see the doctor. And so Samantha takes it upon herself and she goes to see the doctor to ask for advice. The doctor instructs her to speak with Bob at successive distances in order to determine the severity of his hearing problem. And so she goes home, knowing that he's at work in the basement, and from upstairs she yells, "Darling, what do you want for dinner?" And there's no reply. And she moves closer to the stairwell and again, "Honey, what do you want to have for dinner?" Still nothing. She makes her way halfway down the stairs and asks again. Still no response. And finally, Samantha stands right behind her husband. And at the top of her voice, she asks, "Bob, what do you want for dinner?" And he turns around with a look of exasperation and says, "I told you 5 times, Sam, I'd like to have chicken." You know, even when things are right in front of us, sometimes we still don't get it. And isn't that human nature? Our parsha offers a similar lesson. Balak, the king of, calls the seer Bilam to his service in order to curse the Israelites. And on the journey to their meeting, Bilam's donkey stops short, refusing to advance because his way was blocked by an angel of God. And the irony is that even though the seer was a prophet, he was unable to see something that was apparent even to his donkey. We all experience areas in our life and in the public realm that are obvious to some and remain hidden to others, and some areas that should remain just that, private. So when I heard those words, "It's private," I could not have been more proud and more relieved. That was President Biden's recent response to the press when he was asked about the bishop's proposal to limit communion to those who oppose reproductive rights. It's private. Two words which drew a line protecting his personal expression of faith. Two words which succinctly communicate the powerful division between, quite literally, church and state. The same wall which protects us and allows us and people of all faiths to practice as we wish. It's private. And from my perspective, it's also a great blessing. 60 years ago, when John Kennedy, the first Catholic candidate for president, was still campaigning for office, people nationwide expressed concern that he would have a divided loyalty, that his primary affiliation would be to his faith over his allegiance to our country. Against the advice of his consultants, Kennedy addressed the Lutheran Conference of Ministers, and there he stated clearly, "I believe in an America that is officially neither Catholic, Protestant, nor Jewish, where no public official either requests or accepts instructions on public policy from the Pope, the National Council of Churches, or any other ecclesiastical source, where no religious body seeks to impose its will directly or indirectly upon the general populace or the public acts of its officials." 6 decades ago, his message was the same as Biden's is today. It's private. To have a president who is able to practice his faith fully and at the same time recognize that his beliefs don't impact, intrude, or influence what takes place in the public square should reassure us. And what is interesting and would be worrisome if President Biden weren't so clear about what he does and doesn't stand for is the pressure that the bishops seem to be trying to exert to use his office as an extension of his personal religious belief, to put a mark or stamp on the nation's policies, blurring the carefully crafted distinction between public and private. This is particularly important as we increasingly see legislators in many parts of our nation using their authority to restrict access to abortion in particular and reproductive rights in general, which is the very issue at the heart of the bishop's complaint. So let us see what is before us today: freedom of religious expression, which is best maintained by knowing what our faith allows. More than 20 years ago, I gave a high holiday sermon from this pulpit entitled Women Matter, about our tradition's views on reproductive rights. I pointed out then that restrictive abortion laws violated our religious freedoms. 2 decades or more have passed, but Jewish law has not changed. We have 2,000 years of precedent and practice to guide us, and for those who wish to learn, to teach our neighbors without imposing our views upon them. In 2019, the Women's Rabbinic Network authored a statement on reproductive rights which said, "The actualized life is prioritized over the potential life until it is born." And to state it even more simply, the one who is pregnant is the one who is regarded as a viable being, and the fetus, until it is delivered and takes a breath on its own, is not considered an individual life, as is stated in the Torah and further delineated and developed in the Talmud. And I share this in such detail to remind us that the restrictive laws that are taking hold may fulfill the mandates of someone else's faith, but at the same time, they infringe upon mine, upon our faith tradition. These judgments prevent a woman from deciding what is right for herself, for her own health, and for her future, further undermining her equal status in society. Rabbi David Lipper adds this to the conversation. In a world where religion is often pitted against reproductive choice, we must remain steadfast in our commitment to both. We trust women to make their own reproductive health care decisions, and we as a Reform Jewish movement firmly believe that bodily autonomy is a necessity in a democratic society. In an essay, What Reproductive Justice Might Look Like, Rabbi Emily Langowitz wrote the following: "As people of faith, we have a responsibility to counteract the dominant societal narrative that assumes that religion is against abortion, reproductive and sexual health access, and reproductive justice. This means that the work that we do is twofold: to speak out and to reclaim the public narrative around religion and reproductive justice, and to continue to take action that ensures that all people have the access to the information, health care, and services that will reflect their dignity as creative agents made B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image." The founders of our nation were wise. In the Bill of Rights, they asserted that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion. The brilliance of the very first clause of the First Amendment is that it is not anti-religion, but rather supportive of religion in all its varieties and expressions. When the private becomes public, certain publics become dominant over others. The best resort, as President Biden said simply, is to keep what is private, private. Kain Yehi Ratzon, may it be so. Shabbat Shalom.
לשוני מרע, ושפתיים מדבר מרמה. ואם קל אליי נפשי תדום, ונפשי כפה לכל תהיה אלוהי, אלוהי. לשוני מרע, ושפתיים מדבר מרמה. ואם קל עלי נפשי תדום, ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי. אלוהי נצור לשוני מרע, ושפתיים מדבר מרמה. ואם קל עלי נפשי תדום, יהיו לרצון נמרה פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני, אדוני, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל. ושכינת עוזו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים.
Page 141. Eternal God, we face the morrow with hope made stronger by the vision of your deliverance. A world where poverty and war are banished, where injustice and hate are gone. Teach us more and more to respond to the pain of others, to heed your call for justice, that we may bring near the day when all the world shall be one. On that day, the age-old shall come true. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ.
Page 145. To open eyes when others close them, to hear when others do not wish to listen, to look when others turn away, to seek to understand when others give up, to rouse oneself when others accept, to continue the struggle, even when one is not the strongest, to cry out when others keep silent. To be a Jew, it is first of all that, and further to live when others are gone, and to remember when others have forgotten. At this time of tender memory, we call to our hearts cherished members of our own congregational family and lovingly mention them by name. Leonard Asher, Lenore Birch, Alan Bernstein, Toddy Bernstein, Norman Dean, Gus Ditzel, Phyllis Gerber Farmelant, Paul Finkelstein, Richard Franco, Regina Garbett, Harris Gottfried, Shirley Greenberg, Rose Jaffe, Eugene H. Kummel, Florence Kummel, Jacques E. Lennon, Lawrence Stephen Lewis, Sarah Moscovich, Dorothy O'Neill, Madeline Rosen, Elliot Rosenbaum, Wendy Ann Rosenfield, Erwin Rubenstein, Gail Rubin, Adele G. Schwartz, Benjamin Schwartzman, Lawrence J. Shapiro, Louis M. Sills, Wolf Steinman, Stephen Stein, Rose Steinberg, Marvin Sunshine, Anne Weinberg. As we mourn for those in our personal circle, we also take into our hearts the grieving families in Florida who have lost their loved ones, and those who are still waiting to hear. We also continue to mourn those who are taken by COVID as well. If you are in recent mourning, we invite you to rise now. And for those who are marking a yahrzeit, we ask that you would rise as well. And now we stand as one congregational family to recite the words of the Kaddish on page 145. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'yomad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chai chona v'yomei chona v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivorach leolam la'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'riachu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata de'amiram bi'oma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And together we say, Amen. Please Please be seated.
יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו.
Shabbat Shalom once again. Welcome back, welcome home. We couldn't be happier than to see you in the pews, here with us, worshiping, singing, just being together is a small miracle. Temple Emanu-El is a house of prayer for all who would worship here with us in peace. And a few announcements before we conclude. Tuesday, June 29th, in collaboration with the Thanks to Scandinavia Foundation, Virtual Striker presents the remarkable rescue of Denmark's Jews, the extraordinary story of bravery and compassion. And we also welcome you to our ongoing programs. Monday morning at 8:30, our Mindfulness and Meditation Circle. Wednesday at 2:30, Community as Family meets by Zoom. Thursday at 11, our support group for the Dorot generation. And we always welcome you to tune in from Sunday through Thursday at 5:30 for our daily sunset service held online. For more information about these events and, of course, the many more things we have to offer, please go to our website, emmanuelnyc.org. And one last note for those of you worshiping with us in person, we ask that you kindly leave your prayer books on your seats as you go. And for those who are considering worshiping with us next Shabbat, we ask that you check our website for health guidelines before you join us. We do look forward to seeing you here often. We continue now with Kiddush on page 147.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר קדישנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה מקרא קודש, זה ציון מצרים. כיוונו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש
We conclude with Havana Shira on page 157.
It's been so long since we've heard voices. We hope that you will sing with us. Please rise. Hava, Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. 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 Hava. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light fill you with confidence and courage.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's countenance be turned toward yours, and may you be granted the blessings of peace.